I think we're live, people. I think so. This video is going to be about Tyson Fury. Now, every article I keep, coming across when it comes to Tyson Fury, he keeps saying that he doesn't think it's a good idea for him to face Tony Bellew, because Tony Bellew has been calling him out a lot. He's been calling him out a lot. He really wants to fight Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury's response to this is, he doesn't feel it is a wise decision for Tony Bellew. He feels that he would seriously hurt him. He feels that it is a mismatch. He feels that he would just be too much for Tony Bellew, because Tony Bellew was a guy that turned pro at light heavyweight. Tony Bellew's very short compared to him. I mean, Tony Bellew's about, I believe he's listed at 6'2". And Tyson Fury is a natural heavyweight, and he's almost 7 feet tall. The man's a giant, right? He's like 6'9", 6'10". He's a really big guy. So he's gonna have a massive height, reach, and probably he's gonna outweigh Tony Bellew by several pounds, right? So he feels like it wouldn't be a competitive fight. But I actually think that this would be a good fight for him to make him relevant again, because right now Tyson Fury is very irrelevant. That's because he's been so inactive. He's become very irrelevant in the world of boxing, in the world of the heavyweight division. The only thing that has been keeping him somewhat relevant has been his mouth, has been the fact, because these 3 years that he hasn't been fighting, he's been going on social media a lot, right? He's been going on Twitter, and he's been, whenever they were, whenever IFL TV or even somebody else will interview him, he would talk shit. He was like he always does. He talks how he feels on the inside, right? So he's been keeping himself relevant just by staying on social media, posting these things, saying he's the real heavyweight champion, saying all this stuff, right? On interviews, saying how this guy's a bum, this guy's a bum. He could beat Deontay Wilder with one hand tied behind his back. Anthony Joshua is a bodybuilder. He's been talking a lot of shit. That's the only thing that's been keeping him relevant when it comes to boxing, right? And keeping us making videos about him. But let's say he wasn't like that. Let's say Tyson Fury wasn't an outspoken, loud talking, type of person. And let's say he was just a quiet guy. And let's say he never went on social media and he never went to get interviews. Nobody right now would be talking about him. Nobody. Why? Because we would just forget about him. We'd be like, oh, he probably retired. He hasn't fought in 3 years. But like I said, his voice has been keeping him in the public eye. Tony Bellew is not a natural heavyweight, right? But Tony Bellew has been active, right? He's been in these high-profile fights, back to back with David Haye. Although I thought that was a past his prime David Haye, and I think that David Haye, at this point is shot to bits. So I don't really give Tony Bellew that much credit for beating a shot to bits David Haye. But even though that was a shot David Haye, Tony Bellew has been in 2 back-to-back high quality, fights with this guy. Although, like I said, in terms of the actual outcome of the fight, it was not high quality, because like I said, Tony Bellew isn't the best skilled guy, and David Haye was shot. But still, when it comes to just the magnitude of the event, a lot of people showed up to that fight. A lot of people ordered that fight on pay-per-view, so that was a big deal fight. That is exactly what Tyson Fury needs to get himself back in the headlines. Even though I personally would not look at that as a competitive fight. The only way I would look at that as a competitive fight is if Tyson Fury is rusty or he's shot. But if Tyson Fury is still the same Tyson Fury, I would pick him hands down. If that fight was announced tomorrow, I would pick him hands down to beat Tony Bellew and to really toy with him, because stylistically, Tyson Fury is a nightmare for Tony Bellew, right? Because he's so much bigger than him. He's so much longer than him. He's a better boxer. He's a better technician. He would just keep it long and just really outbox Tony Bellew. Or he might even come forward and stop Tony Bellew. So I would think stylistically that's a mismatch. But like I'm saying, because Tony Bellew has been in the public eye, and because he's been in these 2 high-profile fights back-to-back with, David Haye, if Tyson Fury fought him, let's say later this year, let's say he fights this comeback in June, and then let's say in November he fights Tony Bellew, and let's say he goes in there and he beats up Tony Bellew, he's going to be put back in the spotlight like that, right? like that. All of a sudden, especially the casual UK boxing public, boxing fans, the casual fans are gonna be like, oh look, it's Tyson Fury, he's back. Like say he beats Tony Bellew, and then he starts calling out, Anthony Joshua starts calling him a bodybuilder. He says he'll beat Wilder with one hand tied behind his back, right? But I think it's good, like I said, just for it to get him back to being relevant. You get what I'm saying? Just for getting, you understand what I'm saying, right? Just to get him back from being relevant. Fight Tony Bellew. And what I don't understand why Tyson Fury is trying to act like he doesn't want this fight is I remember like a year ago or maybe a couple of months back. No, actually about a year ago in the first when Tony Bellew first fought David Haye, and when he first beat him, when David Haye pulled his Achilles heel, I remember Tyson Fury was on social media and he called out Tony Bellew. He said, let's fight. He called him out. And now he's backing away from fighting Tony Bellew. I don't think it's because he's scared of Tony Bellew. Why would he be afraid of Tony Bellew? Tony Bellew is a 6 foot tall former light heavyweight. He's not going to be afraid of Tony Bellew. I think it's because, I don't know, maybe he's trying to be, now now I guess Tyson Fury is showing the good side of, the good side of him. He's showing his heart. He's saying that no, it wouldn't be right. That's what he's basically saying. It wouldn't be right if he fought Tony Bellew because he's so much bigger than him, so much naturally bigger. He'll have too much advantage. And yes, I get it. But you were calling him out in the beginning. And like I said, I just think for him to put him back to being relevant, that would be a good thing. Anthony Joshua was at the fight between Tony Bellew and David Haye. So he will probably attend that fight between Tony Bellew and, what's his name? Tyson Fury. I just think it'll put him back to being relevant. And that's what Tyson Fury needs. He needs people to be talking about him again. He needs people to excite him because that's also going to help sell the fight. Right? It's going to help sell the fight. But like I said, do I think he should fight Tony Bellew next? No, I want to see him fight. I don't care if he fights a bum next, like I said, but because I want to see where he's at right now. But like I said, I just think it's good for him, just because it'll help him out. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. If you like the video, as always, hit that subscribe button and go check out the links that I post in the bottom of this video in the description. And yeah, sign up, guys. Everything that I put in the link is free. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm out.